Hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight as we continue the second half of Season 11 of City Spotlight. Just 5 episodes left here in Season 11 of City Spotlight. We're going to feature once again here in Season 11, Charleston. And in this episode, it's going to be all about Eastern Illinois University. We'll have 2 segments here on EIU. In our first segment, it will be the full interview that we conducted with Josh Norman of Enrollment Management here at EIU. You previously saw the first part of this interview with Josh back in an earlier episode on Charleston. Josh will talk about the end of another school year at EIU, his area of enrollment management at EIU, and he'll have some thoughts on current EIU President, Dr. Jay Gatrell. And in the second segment of this episode, we're going to have a special feature on the Larry Shobe Memorial Garden. Larry Shobe was a longtime groundskeeper at EIU, and back earlier this spring at EIU, a garden was created in his honor. We'll have sights and sounds from the creation of this new memorial garden at EIU by EIU faculty and staff and students. In the feature, you'll also see some vintage clips of Larry talking via WEIU's Heartland Highways and a segment on EIU 360. And part of those vintage clips via Heartland Highways, you'll hear some narration from former WEIU production manager Lori Banks. Thanks again for joining us here on City Spotlight as we have the tail end of Season 11, just 5 episodes left. And we feature Eastern Illinois University in this latest episode on Charleston. Thank you for watching City Spotlight. We welcome back to the program Josh Norman, Vice President for Enrollment Management. Josh, always a treat to talk to you, and again outside.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
Taping here with Josh on a overcast sunny day here on April 25th. Great to talk to you, Josh. Again, at the end of near the end of another academic school year. Yeah. Can you believe it's the end of another year?
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's just wild. You get past spring break, it's like you're in a rocket ship going 1,000,000 miles an hour, Ramin.
We're taping just before commencement. This will air after EIU's spring commencement. So always great to talk to you, Josh, about you and your area of enrollment management here at EIU. We've taped with you several times and curious to hear about you and your area and what you guys are doing moving forward. You've talked about goals and action plans in the past. I think it was 2 years ago when we taped with you, you mentioned something to the degree of 60 or so action plans.
Yeah.
Has that number increased some more?
Yeah, it has. It's like it feels like at EIU we can never be ambitious enough. And this past year we had our largest number of action plans at 116 action plans. I actually was meeting with a consultant the other day and they said, you're crazy to put the kind of stress on yourself to make an annual strategic enrollment plan and have to do that year after year. But yeah, it was our most ambitious, and it will also result in the largest number of plans being undone at the end of it because of that. Yes.
And so can you share with us just some examples of a few of the action plans?
Sure. We did a road show and met with all of the local area superintendents and started a brand new regional direct admission program.
Okay.
After the previous year, we were able to get some legislation passed to be able to give us access to directory information for local students, and it's really allowing us to serve our region well. That is fantastic. We've got some new scholarship programs that we rolled out. One, which is our first ever broad scale legacy scholarship called the Panther Family Scholarship.
Nice.
So students
like the name.
who have parents who have been alums are able to get access $1,000 per year in scholarship for their 4 years that they're here at Eastern. We've got some international student scholarships and some other reconfiguration of existing funds. And so that's really helping make Eastern, which is already extremely affordable, even more affordable. And so that's fantastic. We've got so many other plans. We implemented a new digital asset management system that makes it easier to put out customized marketing material to our students. And so that's not just going to pay dividends for this year, but for future years as well.
Okay.
And then one of our things that we're most proud of is we're revamping our visit center right in the heart of Old Main.
Wow.
We brought in some new staff, and personalization is number one. And so if a student comes in on a daily visit, they want to see someone from financial aid, they get to see somebody from financial aid. And if they want to visit with the chemistry department, they're going to meet with a faculty member from the chemistry department. And that really is what we're all about at Eastern, is just those personal relationships and being able to serve those students well. And so for them to get that feel when they're on campus really helps us create that sense of belonging for them before they even become a student. It's really amazing.
All excellent, great things to hear. I want to piggyback a little bit. You mentioned the regional superintendents. This is just not on my list of questions,
Sure.
but when you meet with superintendents from so many school districts we have, at least in the vicinity of
Sure.
EIU and whatnot, what are their thoughts on EIU? Do they see it as a great place for their high school K through 12 students to come to if they choose that?
Absolutely, and you know, one thing that we talk about is the state's issue without migration, right? If a student goes outside of the state of Illinois to pursue higher education, they are 33% likely to never return. And so we talk about that, right? Because you look at the Brookings data and how the folks, young people, contribute to the tax base and the income in our communities. And if we don't keep our students here in the state and in our regions, that is going to lead to out-migration that ultimately they realize is going to result in less funding for their schools. And so they're absolutely incredible partners from the standpoint of being bought into direct admissions and promoting their local regional institution in Eastern Illinois University.
You brought up the international students, something we've talked about with you every time you've been on, and always cool to see the international flags at the commencement ceremony. It's one of my favorite parts of when we stream the commencement ceremonies with WEIU. And this is not a political question, but correct me if I'm wrong. Things in the world have been a little bit challenging. Is it more challenging for international students to get to places like EIU?
Sure. I mean, we're in a place now where we have to be mindful of whether it's a non-traditional student population or our domestic first year or transfers or international students. Like, we really have to work the entire portfolio from the standpoint of making sure that we're serving students well, recruiting them well. International students, there has been difficult seasons before when it comes to recruiting that student population, but it's been really difficult this past year from the standpoint of we've got thousands of applications, but they are having difficulty getting those I-20. We get the I-20 issued and distributed, but they're having such a difficult time getting those visa appointments and ultimately giving that visa. So we can do all the work on our end, but if they can't get here, they don't end up on our campus, and so it's
nothing
tough.
really you can control. All right. Overlook for fall semester 2025. How are things looking enrollment-wise? As we've talked to you in the past, around this time of year, you're still working till like literally the first day of classes.
Yes.
How are things looking for fall 2025?
Absolutely. May 1 is National Decision Day, and right now, as we compare our first-year commitments to this time last year, we're up 23%.
Okay.
What's amazing is the biggest portion of that is honors-eligible students, up over 30%.
Oh, wow.
As of today, and so we've got some real growth in that first-year population. But again, you mentioned that international student population. That's the big misnomer that could cause us issues from the standpoint of overall enrollment.
Kind of an unknown.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, since we last taped, Dr. Jay Gatrell has moved up to the president's chair. I've interviewed him since you and I last taped, and you and Jay have actually been on together, and back when we were doing this show in the studio. We now do this on location. But anyway, from your perspective, each leader has a different approach, and tell us about working with Jay Gatrell. You know, every president has a different mindset and goals. What's it like to work with Jay?
Yeah, well, he was my boss as the provost, and now he's my boss.
My boss is boss too.
Yeah. So I really love working with him because he's so pragmatic, and I think as I think about the future, like, that is really what we need from the standpoint of he's got vision. He knows exactly what Eastern needs to look like in order to be able to thrive. And we've been through difficult circumstances, whether we're talking about the budget impasse or we're talking about COVID. And so it's like, the thing is, like, we have a culture of resilience, and he really embodies that. So I just love that.
Because he was here as VP under Dr. David Glassman during those tough times of COVID and whatnot.
Both the impasse and COVID, both. So he's
battle tested.
Yes, he is. He really is. And so I just have a lot of confidence in him, and not just in him, but the leadership team in Old Main. Our Vice President of Business Affairs is amazing, Matt Bierman, and Flaherty in Student Affairs, Lindy in our advancement area. So just got a really great team right now. Hate to see Ryan Hendrickson go, but you know, like, I have so much confidence in Jay. He's made some great hires, and so it's like, I know that we'll get somebody else great in that academic affairs seat as well.
Okay, very good. I know there's a lot of excitement kind of over near my side of campus with the new science building. possibly going up at the end of this decade. It's weird to say the end of this decade because we're right at 2025. Your thoughts, Josh, on EIU moving forward and what's next for EIU? I mean, and I know you focus on enrollment management and students coming here, but the future of EIU.
Yeah, and you got to have things that attract those students, right?
A science building wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I'm excited about breaking ground next year for the science building. We're getting some new pickleball courts, which, you know,
that is literally everywhere now. Pickleball.
So we're getting some new pickleball courts this summer. The pickleball club students are super excited about that. We're getting new floors inside the student recreation center, and so there's a lot of great things happening on campus that I think are going to draw students in. And just, you know, we talk about all those action plans, strategic enrollment plan. We got a great one lined up. It goes to President's Council on Monday.
Oh boy.
And I'm keeping it under 100 just because it was so hard to manage 116. And so we're going to President's Council, so we've got a lot of great ideas that we're going to implement that are really going to help us not just recruit future students, but serve our current students as well.
Great job, those are looking good.
Thank you. Blame Alex.
I like them.
Blame's a harsh word, Jeff.
Well, everybody thinks it looks good, so I'm just going to let them blame you.
I suppose that's all right. We are working on the Larry Shobe Memorial Garden. The plan is to ultimately have this hedged in and looking like an English tea garden. It's my understanding that Larry Shobe idolized a lot of European botanical stuff. And so we're trying to make this area more welcoming, more inviting for the community and students, everybody that passes through here. Mostly, for me anyway, a lot of research, a lot of learning about different types of plants and things that'll do well in this environment. That's mostly been it. As far as the design, I'm not really sure. I just started drawing stuff that I thought looked ideal, looked good, not too complicated that we couldn't maintain it without help. So ultimately, this is what we ended up with. When we have volunteers in here, it's going to be a lot more eyeballing, putting stuff with it, you know, where it looks good. But it should just really speed up the whole process. I've been learning a lot on this project, and with this being a school, I think it's great for people to come in with little or some knowledge and then leave with more than they came in with. And I think it's a phenomenal opportunity for that.
Grounds foreman, Tony Craven, my boss. The big boss is here. We've got 5 of us from our shop, the ground shop. We'll help with whatever's going on. We've got Eric and Bo are gonna take a couple of people, and we're gonna till up areas that we've taken trees out, place dirt in. We're gonna reseed them, so they'll need a couple of people. Alex over in the black and myself will be up here trying to plant this. We'll need several people here. We appreciate the help. So if there's any questions, just get a hold of one of us and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm weeding. You're weeding? All right. Split hose over there. Yeah, let's go. We are trying to get the Shobe Garden back into different condition. We're replanting the whole thing. Alex Morris came up with the main idea, and we kind of rolled with it, and everybody seemed to approve of it, and they've had some really nice comments from what we've had done so far, and hopefully everybody today will, help finish it.
Did you know Larry Shobe?
I did know Larry.
What does this mean for you to be out here doing this today?
Just thinking about how much he would enjoy it.
He would.
Tell us the location of where we're at.
We're in between Old Main and Blair.
Why this location?
This is where Larry actually did his main garden.
so to speak. He put his effort into this area, and as well as the whole campus, but this was one of his main babies, so to speak.
And I'm going to ask some other people this question, but to have the honor of having something named after a person means they did something.
Yes, yeah. Larry was instrumental in all the flowers that were on campus when he was here. He even took care of the stuff in the city street, and then just brought it back into campus.
Larry was really sort of the driving force behind a lot of these beds on this side of campus. One of the first fellows I met in 2017, he was proud of his work. He showed me his entire portfolio. Just an amazing person who had a passion for plants, our campus, and more importantly, making sure that the aesthetics sort of lifted people up. And for him, gardening was a way to make people happy.
If gardening is your passion, then I would say follow your passion. It does, and that's true of anything that you're interested in. But certainly if you are interested in gardening, it can be a wonderful life. Our faculty and staff and administrators enjoy wandering through the campus and looking at the vast collections that are here, and they tell us about that. I always had an inquisitive mind, and when I went to the woods, I was always looking at the trees, even in later years. Supposed to be mushroom hunting, and I didn't find as many mushrooms because I was looking up in the trees and watching them grow. And
his education continued by learning from other gardeners and on his own. Larry graduated from Eastern Illinois University with a degree in history, but it would be several years later that he would return to campus as university grounds gardener.
The campus was a wonderful opportunity to work and to give back to the public. But then I suppose I always look at myself as a public servant, and that's how I thought in the beginning I would serve the public. Every year I've been here, we have created new gardens, and it's gotten a little much to keep up with now, but I guess we're just sort of addicted to doing things like that.
You could say that Larry gardens by day and night. After he finishes his campus work, he returns to his home garden just a few blocks from the university. While many of us fellow gardeners consider gardening a hobby, Larry views it as a way of life.
I noticed as a kid growing up that in America in particular, that people who had greenhouses never had time to keep up their private grounds. And I, who followed British horticulture, had every intention of living in a private garden. If working in horticulture meant that I didn't have the time to do it, then I wanted some other line of work.
While he's partial to perennials, Larry also likes some annuals, especially coleus. But these are not new plants. Every year he winters over most of his coleus. Many of the plants also make their way to gardening beds at Eastern.
I've just always done that, and to me it goes with the job because I preside over a vast collection, Laurie. But over a long period of time, the vast majority finds its way to the campus, and because I do so much propagating anyway when we buy things for the campus and I want it at home, I just propagate it and bring it home too.
He showed his skills off here at the gates, and he showed all of North Quad. And then he had a few flower beds in front of Life Science and the South Quad and Buzzard. He was very smart and knowledgeable and was able to make make something out of nothing, because he started from cuttings and seeds and everything like that. So.
Did you work here at EIU with Larry by chance?
I did. I worked here for 6 years before he retired.
And Larry's contributions to EIU are what?
Are very vast. Even after probably 10 years of him not being here, everyone still knows his name and knows that he always made things look beautiful, and he always had amazing gardens.
I think this is a key investment that our entire community's made through donations, their labor, their vision. Local gardeners planned this, so it's a community-wide effort.
Some boxwoods. Hicks used. Hicks used? Hicks I, yeah, H-I-C-K-S-I. Used. Got some spiral arborvitae.
Quite a variety.
We've got quite a variety, yep. That's what we wanted. A lot of them will attract butterflies and bees. Probably more so butterflies, so that's kind of what we wanted to go with.
Kind of like a butterfly garden.
Well, not 100%, but
you said bees
several,
and butterflies, so
yeah, several of them will attract the butterflies. So these 6 right here, and there's 6 on the other side that will, and there's 6 of the gold Wagelia that will also attract butterflies.
He worked diligently in that spot. He had created a English garden, more of an English cottage garden, and so he had all kinds of beautiful flowers, and he took really good care of it, and it always looked beautiful.
I think it's a phenomenal experience, not just for myself, but for everybody involved in putting this all together. And it'll be a lasting thing for everybody to hopefully have some good memories about Larry, and just a nice place to enjoy, really.
It's a nice remembrance. I'm sure there will probably be a plaque of some sort or a nameplate done. I'm hoping that it can bring people in and be able to enjoy it. I'd like to see a few things added so that the students can enjoy it, and so they can, have a place to commune.
Well, I have an unusual background as far as gardening is concerned. My great-grandmother taught me how to propagate plants. When I was 5, 6, and 7 years old, she began that training. I have always had an eye for color and large estates and just keeping busy growing things. I'm probably driven by forces that most people aren't driven by. It's just a way of life for me. It's not a hobby. I tell people it's not a hobby. I've been at it since childhood, but I love watching things grow. I love having changing color, and that's what drives me on.
Now, I don't know all the things that you do on campus that may not have a person's name attached to it, memorial or not. But this adds a little something to this particular job you're doing?
Yes, yeah. This is one spot that they wanted to commemorate what Larry did for the campus, and this is where we've decided to go at it.
And did you know Larry Shobe?
Yes, yeah. I've known Larry. I knew Larry when I worked at Lee's Nursery here in town 40-some years ago.
And I'm gonna pick your brain. If he saw that this was being done, what would he say?
I would hope Larry would approve of what's going on. I mean, Larry was a guy that liked to cram a lot into a small space. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to come back with a more garden type atmosphere where people can sit out on the patio, enjoy what's here, and hopefully we can keep adding to it if we need to do that.
If Larry Shobe were here today and seeing a garden with his namesake on it, what do you think he would say?
He would be very pleased. He would hopefully be okay with the flowers that we chose. They may not have been his choice, but I think they will look very nice together.
Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight. You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central and Southeastern Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, Search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight.